Hello guys and gals of the internet, I'm Mr. Mikiels of YouTube and Twitch TV, and it is time for some more F1 23. And up next is Breaking Point 2, the sequel to the Breaking Point story that started 2 years ago on F1 2021, and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it was really kind of the starting blocks for the curation of the commentator season for F1 2021 that turned into an Aiden Jackson story, as the Aiden Jackson character was actually someone I really liked and it gave me that fictional character and was able to fulfill my, well, not my dream per se, but you know what I mean, like a passion for Formula 1 game commentaries during the races. It's something I'd wanted to do for over a decade since I started doing videos, and this was kind of, Aiden Jackson in particular was one of the building blocks for that. The other one was, of course, the replay system and having the driver board and all that stuff is back. So eventually, the Aiden Jackson story from that perspective will continue in the near future with an interesting arrival and a prequel story that, as I explained in the first video I did, will be coming when I reach the Hungarian Grand Prix, or at least after it. That's when the season will take a break, that story will take a break, that part of the story, and we'll be starting a new chapter on F1 23 with someone who you might actually realize very quickly who that is. But first, we're going to do the Breaking Point 2 story. Like I said, I really enjoyed the first one, and basically I think now what seems to have happened is that Connor Sport I've basically come into Formula 1, and we already knew that Devin Butler and Aiden Jackson were the drivers because F1 did this really cool like team thing reveal that looked like a real thing, like a team was really coming to Formula 1. It felt really authentic. So the lead up to this was actually quite exciting. That was actually really well done by EA and Codemasters. Got to really applaud them for that effort. So here we go then. The arrival of Connor Sport in Formula 1. Let's do it. So let's see. I think we'll do challenging again. I think the AI in F1 21's Breaking Point was kind of easy-ish. It wasn't like really difficult. The only real challenging part of the story was the Mexico Grand Prix, but that was really because I'm not really good at the Mexico Grand Prix. Again, I feel that challenging is rather the normal difficulty. There are added aspects as far as I'm aware. They do say that some things will impact the story. I don't actually believe any of that, because they said that about the journey and it ended up being so one-dimensional it was almost laughable. How they said, oh, all these choices will impact the story. It's like you play it and it's nothing has changed. It's all the same no matter what happens and how well you perform. It was like, what was it, Journey Point 1 or Journey 1, where you get sent out on loan even if you could score 10 goals in a match. So they say that kind of thing here. I don't believe it. I think it's going to be so small and minuscule you're barely going to notice it. But like I said, I could still enjoy it even if that was the case, because I really enjoyed the first one. So we'll go challenging difficulty, and we'll have everything that I had in the first video I did. So all this off. I've immersive pit stop experience, because I'm assuming we're making pit stops. Let's just have this. I mean, it's probably not going to matter unless I think car damage is not going to be really a thing I struggle with, except for when the street circuit comes along, but I don't know. They didn't have Monaco or anything like that last year, so thankfully, because that would have been an absolute nightmare to drive Monaco. I mean, obviously, in the times I've driven Monaco, it probably doesn't look that bad, but I would be honest and say probably a lot of flashbacks will be used at street circuits. But let's see. Settings plus expert. Yeah, we did all that. Okay. Let's do it.
Previously in Breaking Point.
Oh, we got previously here.
Aiden, please tell us, how does it feel to be on the verge of getting behind the wheel for your very first race?
I feel like a little kid. I look around and I'm surrounded by my heroes.
And tell me about Casper Ackerman. How is that relationship coming along?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
Whose fault was it then?
He tried to stop
You
them
didn't
from
see
signing.
Devon? That's what I said at the time. You
Babysitter.
didn't see Devon
We
coming
all
up with the
feel
insider
sorry
with
for
a
you, mate.
stupid move that
You
wasn't
never
even
stood a chance
made.
with him.
I had a call this morning from Christian Horner. You're being watched.
You know what his problem is, don't you? Thinks you're getting too old.
You want respect, you give respect. That's how it works.
How about you give me a little respect?
How about you earn it first? I'm done.
You what?
I'm retiring.
Why didn't it work out between you two?
So it hasn't
He's on more
factored
money
the
What?
it hasn't factored the thing that
want me
I
on the
picked
team?
Williams.
Did
It's
not.
just defaulted
You
to
thought I
Alpha
was
Romeo,
past my
I guess.
So none of this is true.
There's always gossip in the paddock. And ever since he's arrived, there's been one man at the center of it all.
And you didn't
I
tweak
want us
that
to
to
push
start
for
with.
I want us to beat Butler. And I want that seat to go to you.
See, I did like that because
to really upset Alpha Tauri here.
the teams you could pick would have fought for like 4 downwards. So I like that fact.
Butler into the barrier, and that looks to be the end of the race for him. The Dutchman looks to be continuing.
Why would
out.
anyone
It's
even
great to see
sign
him
Butler
still in this
after
fight,
that, you know?
Crofty.
Go for third, Aiden.
What about Casper?
We let Aiden pass.
Let Aiden pass.
We did it.
We did it. Have you seen the crash yet?
Butler's okay?
Bruised ego, perhaps.
I loved it. I love that. They actually defaulted the Max 1 as well. I don't think that actually happened in the race. I can't remember. Miami Grand Prix already? We're not going to start from the beginning? 2022, a new era for Formula 1. An overhaul to the technical and sporting... Well, they say technical regulations and the sporting regulations, obviously. It's the first major update to the sport for several years. It's not the only new cars that are turning heads down the paddock. Why are we starting the Miami Grand Prix? I have no idea. Several races in the 2022 season. I think this was about round 5, wasn't it? What a strange place to start. I ain't gonna lie.
What was it like bringing a brand new team to the F1 grid?
You know, the first time you see a car, your car, with your branding, your name on it, in an official race,
I haven't turned subtitles on.
alongside Ferrari, McLaren, Mercedes, that's what it's all about.
You make it sound like a dream come true.
If only.
Huh.
When did you first get a sense of what was in store for Connor Sport?
Very Drive to Survive, isn't it?
2022 season, straight out of the box. The drivers were always going to clash. That was a calculated risk.
I
But the
honestly
car-
don't know why you
The car
even took that risk.
had problems.
We're midway through the Miami
Yeah, I've got my
Grand
theories
Prix.
about
It's been
that.
a cracking race so far, and it's all up for grabs.
Absolutely, Crofty. Some fantastic driving here today. Especially, I have to say, from Aiden Jackson. I don't think I've ever seen the Connor Sport car being put through its paces quite like this.
This is a team, Connor Sport, that have got a lot to prove this season, but Jackson might just be the man to do it.
I think that goes without saying, quite frankly. We've just got to finish the race.
Okay, Aiden, nice job so far. Let's try and bring that gap down to the car ahead if you can. Copy that.
They've got the team radio stuff, I like that. Right, let's put subtitles on. Sorry about that, folks. I forgot to... I think I'm probably going to have to leave the game and do that. Oh, this is great. I think... Where is that? I didn't even see it in, like... Oh, hang on. Would it be in, Where are the subtitles? Oh, there they are. Okay. There we go. Right. Here we go. Sorry about that.
We've got a lot of spare energy. Okay to use your overtake button.
Oh yeah, I'm trying to remember that. I don't think we're going to really need it. The AI wasn't overly difficult last year. And we've got Schumacher ahead. Shit. Yay, I passed the car down the straight. It's going to be weird seeing the 22 cars with the 23 handling, that's for sure. Oh my god, wait a minute. I had DRS there, and freaking Tsunoda's almost alongside me with no DRS at all. Oh, damn it, I spoke too soon. I mean, I am getting away from him now. Oh my god, it's skipping. That was the thing I had in the day 1 footage. I had the game skipping a few times. It started to settle down after a while. I know I'm not really pushing, but I'm being kind of cautious. There, I can be kind of slow-ish. I also don't want to crash into anyone. Right around the outside, thanks mate. Almost in the points. So I guess in Connosport I haven't even scored any points yet. My theory is Jackson is just going to get completely shafted for Butler favoritism, because as you can see, Butler Global is one of the sponsors, so I'm assuming it's his family's sponsor or something. Maybe his dad's bankrolled the team or something. A lot like what Aston Martin have done with Lawrence Stroll, for example. What a strange place to start though. It's like no background on the team, no what happened at the first race, no car reveal again. Well, they did the car reveal already, but I suppose they didn't factor that in the beginning. You know, it was just instantly in at the Miami GP for some reason. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. I did forget to turn the subtitles on in the beginning there. It's because I didn't have them on for the day 1 footage video. I forgot to set them on. I'm an idiot. My bad. We've got to get to a certain place, or we just got to get to like 14. Shit. I was thinking about a move around the outside of the Alfa Romeo there. It's always in that corner where it kind of freezes. It's a bit weird. I think it's only certain tracks where it does that there, because I think Qatar did that. Like I said, it did settle down after a while. Did the DRS too early. That's a point. Where is Butler? I should have... I'll check it. I wanted to make sure I got round the corner first. Oh, he's 12. Not bad. Not bad. He's actually catching us rather quickly. He was like, oh shit. Well, that sucked. Already stepping out there. That was unfortunate. I don't know what happened there. I just stepped out. Sometimes it will still do that. It is still better than F122 though. At least you can get round the corners. Oh shit, I had the DRS on. I didn't turn it off. That would explain it. Oh my god. I'm sucky in this first part, guys. I've spent most of the first release window of the game kind of just getting used to the handling of the game. And it is so much better than last year's. You can actually go through corners relatively flat if it's the right kind of corner, as it were. I don't know if we've got to get into a certain position. I think it's pretty obvious that something's going to happen because it was mid-race and, you know, it's kind of saying that something is going to happen. I don't think it's going to involve Butler because he's a bit too far behind. So after the stuff in Abu Dhabi, I do not understand why. Well, I do now. I do. You know, I didn't really understand at first, but when you see Butler Global, you know that Devin Butler got the seat because it's like the money. You know, so it's basically a pay driver to a degree. Oh, I don't have DRS. Okay. So, what happened? Because at the end of the 21 storyline, you get, if you pick a team, you get an email from the team principal of the team you're affiliated with. So if you pick Williams, it would be Toto Wolff because Mercedes links to Williams in the driver academy. Ferrari, Binotto. I'm assuming AlphaTauri would be Red Bull and Christian Horner. This is for the fastest lap. Remember that. Alonso's only an Alpine for this one. Now, so I'm not entirely sure what went wrong there because they sent him an email saying, you know, we'll have a word. I mean, obviously, those big three in real life pretty much were contracted with their drivers already. You know, Russell had already signed. Perez had already been confirmed with Red Bull. In fact, 2021 he was already there, right? Yes. And with Ferrari, they'd already had Charles on a long-term contract, and they extended Sainz for bullshit. I'm just going to keep going. It's only light damage. I'll handle it. I only need to finish the race anyway, so I'll just keep going.
Okay, that's us with 5 laps of fuel remaining. 5 laps of fuel left.
Here we go. Yeah, something's going to happen.
I'm losing power. Why am I losing power? Copy that. We see it.
I fucking knew it, dude. He's getting shafted already. Look.
Okay, I'm afraid you're going to have to retire the car, please, Aiden. Retire the car.
I knew it.
You're joking. I'm sorry, Aiden. Pull over now, please. Pull over now.
Yeah.
This is getting ridiculous.
And that's agonising.
Why does that not surprise me?
Just a few laps left to go, and he's out of the Miami Grand Prix.
Oh, with every race, the car looks like a constant problem for Connor Sport. It must be devastating for the drivers.
Confirmation.
They make it sound like Devon's having the same problems. I bet he's not.
Won't be seeing the checkered flag today, but it looks like his teammate will. Jackson's DNF puts Devin Butler in a position where he might just be able to secure some points for Connor Sport.
Of course.
Aiden's out. Yep, engine problem, I'm afraid. Good job you got me. All right, Devin, don't push it too hard.
And he's still a dick.
We cannot risk losing both cars here. It's in the bag, mate.
Of course it is, because you've got no fucking problems, have you?
How's Devin doing? Yeah, he's doing all right, mate. He looks like he's going to bring home some points for the team. Good for him.
Right? Yeah, because Devon's never going to have any problems, is he? I bet it's a fucking constant thing. You know, Devon finishes the races and he barely can't because his car can barely get to the end. I wonder why. Butler Global, just take a look at that sponsor and you'll figure it out.
If it's not one thing, then it's another. Did you not see what happened out there today?
Aiden, I agree with you 100%. We are doing everything we can. I know the car is not perfect, but...
Andreo, it's every race.
Yeah.
Do you know how I look losing easy points like this?
Yeah, he's getting shafted.
Knock. Sounds like there's a right show going on in here. What am I missing?
Not now, Devon.
Aiden and I were just discussing issues with the car.
Again? I thought that was all in hand. I had no problems today. Smooth. You know
Of course you were.
A shoddy workman always blames his tools.
I was ahead of you, asshole.
mate. You can look at my setup data anytime you want. I've told you that. It might help.
And I've told you before, it's not a setup issue. The problem is...
Jackson. That was the problem with the 2022 season.
Oh, sure. He's barely finishing the races.
At the end of 21, everyone thought Aiden was going to be signed by one of the big three. But I guess they couldn't reach an agreement, so we both signed for Connor Sport.
And do you think that affected Aiden?
That's no secret. Now, for that 22 season, Jackson was a nightmare.
Sure he was. How can he be a nightmare when he's not even finishing the races because his car's a fucking... like a fucking boat? Story eventually returns to the hub where you can check the latest news, social feed, and emails. You even receive phone calls from other characters throughout the course of Breaking Point 2, which makes sense. Character control in these hubs can change from visit to visit, each one offering a different perspective on life at Connorsport. Sounds like we could be racing as Butler then. Huh. From here, you'll also be able to check your performance and reputation levels. These are both additions to Breaking Point 2 and will fluctuate based on your actions on and off the track. Getting a higher level in each rating will result in a wider range of responses available in both press interviews and department events. Yeah, so it's going to be minuscule changes that doesn't affect the story at all. Largely related to how well you and the Connorsport team perform during the races. By things such as your finishing position, or if you manage to secure the fastest lap of the race. Beyond, however, the other factors outside of the race may also affect performance. That makes sense. It's how you well do. The media, fans, and the F1 world perceive you and the team. From appearing frustrated for a post-race interview through outperforming your rivals on track, all this will be affected by your reputation level. So it's basically, it seems basically like it's mixing my team with the Breaking Point story. It's like a hybrid of the two by the sound of it, which is interesting. News social, post emails, and phone calls can all be impacted by your actions elsewhere. These icons will highlight if a piece of content is present due to your actions, with each representing a different source. From reputation, performance, and on-track to press department event choices, you'll be able to identify how the F1 world is responding to your choices and decisions. So it affects what you see. It doesn't affect the overall plot. Basically, it's not going to be big story-based actions. It's just going to be what you see in the news stuff. And we also got Podium Pass XP, which makes sense. Okay. So, what's the first one? Oh.
Aiden, hey, I wanted to give you a heads up. Look, the crew has shared the latest telemetry data with us.
Fine, but I don't think it will tell me anything I don't already know.
Right?
Just humor me, okay? I'd like to go through it. Let me know if anything jumps out. I'm keen to iron out these problems as quickly as possible for you.
Sure thing. Thanks, Andrea.
At least someone at Connorsport's got his back.
I've got your back, Aiden. Remember what I said when you joined the team. I won't let you down. Ackerman wouldn't let me hear the end of it.
Yeah, sounds like Casper.
Yeah.
You know he told me the same, right? It's just tricky, what with the car and Devin poking his nose in any chance he gets.
Yeah, naturally.
There's a lot going on for sure, but we're a team. We'll get there. I'll have a word with the Devin. Tell him to give you some space, both on and off the track, okay?
Yeah, alright. Good luck with that.
See, I was gonna say, like, what... Oh, something by Lucas Weber. So Weber is still like an Easter egg, but he's actually still there. That's really cool. He's been there like the whole time now. I was gonna say, obviously with Butler we know how he got the seat, but what kind of thing did Connorsport think was gonna happen? You know, by signing Jackson. But obviously they don't probably know if anything Butler was doing, because everything Butler was doing was behind the scenes where no one would see it. You know, all that stir in the pot from Devin. Even, like, I'm sure Casper probably told the team principal what's going on, you know, and what he is. Which I believe is Andrea Connor, I think that said. So it's actually named after him, which is pretty cool. So let's read this. Major sporting events don't happen overnight. The groundwork shows Miami's, they've missed out most of this again. Reception is the pinnacle of motorsport doesn't begin this weekend, but in fact it began 4 years ago when a proposal was first submitted in 2018 upon upon first submission. It was felt that in 2019 was a viable target for a Grand Prix debut, but it was delayed first to 2021 and now to 2022 after the bid needed some final logistical details and confirming. And what was quite funny is I remember a press conference that the drivers held, was it 2017? 2018? And they were, I think there was like Daniel Ricciardo, Vettel, and Hamilton, right? And I think probably someone else, I think Max maybe. And they were asked what they would like to see in the future. I think Ricciardo said a race in Vegas, and Hamilton said a race in Miami. We've got a race in Miami and Vegas this very year. Poor Ricciardo's not going to be able to race in Vegas, but yeah, really ironic now. Miami, of course, is no such slouch when it comes to motorsporting history, having hosted Grand Prix in the other classifications before. Now that makes its F1 bow. But one thing is for sure, although the road here was long, the future is even longer. Miami signed a 10-year deal. I suppose we can get used to such an exciting location. While Butler's junior and senior may, oh, okay, so it's Devin and his dad by the sound of it. May be the ones currently making the headlines this season. Formula 1 is no stranger to father and son, with two of the drivers on the grid are, of course, backed by their wealthy father. Not just Devin Butler at Connorsport, but also Lance Stroll at Aston Martin, whose father is Lawrence, who owns the team, as I have said earlier. Elsewhere in the history books, rather than team meetings where sons and fathers interact, Mick Schumacher has followed in his father Michael's illustrious footsteps into F1, and Nico Rosberg followed his father Keke all the way to the World Drivers' Championship in 2016. They joined Graham and Damon Hill as the only two pairs of father and son champions, though the beloved Gilles and Jacques Villeneuve aren't far behind. Gilles finished runner-up in 79, and Jacques went on to one better in 1997. Beloved is not the word I'd use for Jacques Villeneuve, just saying. Anyway, I'll digress. Of course, we expect rivalries between such heavy hitters as Hamilton and Verstappen to take centre stage, and the race weekends so far this year haven't disappointed. But the real drama seems to be simmering a little further back on the grid this season. With Jackson Butler consistently bumping wheels both on and off the track last year, a trend that seems to have carried over. Many fans have been left wondering if Connorsport's gamble at signing the polarised pair is indeed paid off, which is what I said earlier. From what we've seen so far, however, we propose the jury is still very much out. So there's a featured one. We all know any newcomers will always face an uphill battle to compete in the even footing with their more experienced and well-established contemporaries. Oh my god, these words. I can't read. Which is only one for the many challenges that Connorsport are currently facing. Formed by Andrea O'Connor, the owner and CEO of the globally recognised Connorsport brand, this racing team is an outfit with a lot to prove. Yet with a car that is showing all the signs common to a fledgling team, makes sense, with constant recurring faults that have marred almost every race since the start of the season, the question still remains. Will Connorsport have the fortitude to succeed where others have failed, or will they be left spinning their wheels unable to find their form? So it sounds to me like Devin is having problems too, but he's not really showing that right now. No one's figuring out, Aiden's having all the problems, I wonder why. Like, no one is twigging. Okay. And of course, all the social media from last year, we already got a post from Ben. Already feels sorry for Aiden, driving like a complete pro, but the car. Constable should be ashamed. Damn, Ben savage. Feeling like Jackson should probably put the car in reverse, it'd be quicker. Well, it's clearly getting preferential treatment from the Connorsport garage. I wonder why that is. Someone's figured it out. One of Aiden's fans has figured it out. That's awesome. You sir, are very much right. It's a great season this year. Everyone's never been better on this generic post. More time on the R&D. Yeah, makes sense. They're back of the grid. That's more like Connorsport. Bye-bye, lads. It's still here. Arav. That Connorsport breaks down more often than mine. I wonder if that's a reference to all the failures that Arav had in F1 22 with his My Team. Matt 212 has had that as well, we noticed. Because I found him recently. That Matt 212 is a chill dude. I love him, he's just so chill. He's got such a nice vibe about him. I love watching him as well. He's the newest one I found.